Hey everybody, it's Nelu. Welcome back to another studio vlog. In today's studio vlog, we are going to be creating a shirt for my nephew's birthday party that my sister wants me to do. So with that said, let's get into the video. Alrighty, so before we start doing anything on the computer, the first thing I'm gonna do is obviously get the shirt, see whatever shirt they're gonna want to print on. So this is a small shirt. And what I have here, this is a little sizing guide that I created. I sell it on my Etsy for like $1 or $2. I'll link it down if you guys are interested. But it's all it does is it's just like recommended sizing for different shirts. So this shirt is a youth shirt. It's a small shirt, so it says about 7 inches. And so that's just a guide. So I would take that as a guide. That's like a starting point. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger at 7.5 just because of the graphic. It has more on the bottom than the top, so I want it to look fuller on the shirt. And this graphic does have a front and a back, so I'm going to create both at 7.5 inches wide, and then it will adjust itself for the height. So now that we have that squared away, let's get onto the computer and set this puppy up. Okie dokie. Now that we're on the computer, the website I'm going to be using is Canva to set up the print. And then I will be transferring from all this stuff to my computer that is hooked up to my DTF printer. If you have a DTF printer or you're thinking about getting a DTF printer, you should know that Mac is not compatible with really most of the DTF printers, I think, and really industrial machines. It's all primarily Windows components that work on that. With that said, so what we're going to do is create the design here, and then I'll move over to my Windows computers that is hooked up to the DTF printer to complete the print in that software. All right, enough said with that. Let's get into Canva. So the first thing you're going to do is obviously go into Canva. They do have currently 2 subscriptions. One's a free subscription that doesn't include all the fun stuff that the Pro subscription includes, obviously. I do have a Pro subscription because for me and everything that I do on here, totally worth it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on projects, and then let's go to the Cornuco here, and we are going to go to DTF projects, and these are just a couple other projects that I worked on. So the next thing we're going to do is in here I have a DTF printer sheet master that I created. So I created this master so that when I print any of my DTF transfers, all I do is I click on this master. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy of this. Okay, so now I have the copy of my DTF master. The reason I have this, and you're like, well, Nelu, well, why are you doing that? That seems really silly. Why would you create this empty file? So the reason being is if you take a look at this top section right here, this file is named DTF Printer Sheet Master, and it has a sizing which is 12.5 inches by 16.25 inches. The reason it has that sizing is that's what the sizing that is compatible with my DTF printer when I set it up in the DTF printing program on the Windows computer. So I have this set up so there's no... I'm the type of person that always forgets. So I have this set up so that I don't forget, because I'll be sitting here spending 20 minutes looking for the size of the DTF because I forgot, and it happens all the damn time. So in this, that's the whole reason I do this. All that to say this. So the next thing we're going to do is you'll need your... Okay, so the next thing you're going to need is your designs. So we have them right here. My sister went through a person on Etsy that designed this for her, and they sent the designs over, and now we're going to build it into this template here. So we're going to go ahead and upload these. So you can click on uploads, or you can just drop them in when it gives you the little plus sign. And then I'm going to upload this as well. Okie dokie. Okay, now that we have the designs uploaded into Canva, we're going to put them onto the canvas. So I go ahead and click it. If this had a background that needed to be removed, there's a background remover. See the little crown? That indicates that it's the Pro version that is needed in order to use this function. So I do have the Pro service on Canva, and I would just click this to remove the background. But the file that was sent over from my sister already has the background removed, so one thing less for us to do. Next thing I'm going to do is I am going to go over here. I'm going to move this a little bit wider for myself just so that I can see everything. Gives me all my options up here. We're going to go to the position tool, and then we're going to see what the position or what size this is showing at right now. So as you see down here, it's showing that the width is 9 inches, 9.24 inches, and the height is about 11 inches. This ratio little lock and key, I'm going to go ahead and close this. So I'm going to lock it so that when I adjust one size, it will keep the same size. It will, like, I'm not sure what the proper word is, but it will keep it equivalent to the same size. I hope that makes sense. So if I adjust this to 7.5 inches, it's going to adjust the height as well. So now you saw that the height only went down a little tiny bit. That's because this is not at the very bottom. So you can crop the image to get you a more precise size. So if I do that, oops, let's go back to position, arrange, let's click it. Okay, so now you see once I crop the image in, it's a 7.5 width with a 7.73 inch height. So I'm just going to adjust this just a smidgen more. So I'm going to go to 7.65 just because there is a little bit of a border here and I want it to get as max width as I can. So now that I have that, I have this set up here, and then the next thing is going to be the back side of the shirt. So we're going to put that in here. And I'm going to crop this down because of all that empty space. There's no need for it. And now both images will fit on one of my sheets of the DTF for the DTF sheet. So this is perfect. This is exactly what we want. We want to use as much of the sheet as possible so you're not wasting any of that space. So if, let's say, you had other designs, you could move this over essentially and put smaller designs on the right, or, you know, however you can flip them around so that you fill up as much as the page as possible, so you're not wasting that DTF transfer sheet, which is pretty pricey when it's compared to, you know, when you're wasting all that available space. But in this case, I don't have any other projects, so I'm just going to utilize what I need for the birthday shirt, which this will be the front, this will be the back, and obviously the thing I did not do to the back and I did to the front is adjust the size. So if we want to just double check, so it's 7.65 width, I'm going to go ahead and adjust this to the 7.65 width. All right, so now it went ahead and adjusted the size, and I think this is going to look so great. And now what we're going to do is rename this. Oh, and I put it on my master instead of my copy. Uh-oh. So what I'm going to do, because I do stuff like that, I'm going to go ahead and rename this to Matthew's B-Day shirt. Okay. I'm going to save that. And then what I'm going to do to this copy, I'm just going to edit it and pretend like this never happened. Now this is the DTF master. Ha! Oh, is there any more? Nope, that's it. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now that way it saves it. Let me make sure it saved it. Perfect. So I still have the DTF master because, see, that's what I'm talking about. I do stuff like this all the freaking time. Anyhow, now that we have Matthew's birthday shirt, I leave it in Canva, and now we're going to move over to the Windows computer and get this all set up. Okay, now I'm sitting at the DTF printer, which, let me turn you around. So this is the Windows computer that I have, and this is the DTF printer that I have, which is the Procolored L1800 DTF printer. So before we start any project, we're going to have to maintenance the machine. So we're going to go ahead and start that up. And I am going to go ahead. I'm not sure how to screen record on this, so let me flip you guys around so I can show you the process. Now that I have you guys flipped around, we're going to go to the ProRip software that came with the printer. This is what it looks like. the interface for this is very simple. I know that with some machines it comes very different, but there's basic functionality that comes with this. So what we're going to do is hit a new job, and right up here there's a little tab that starts a new job. And before we do this, we got to do the maintenance. So I already forgot about that. So we'll click on this little arrow button here, bring it to the file import. We're going to right click, hit printer preferences, and then it's going to bring up a whole bunch of options. We're going to go to maintenance, and we're going to do a head cleaning. A head cleaning is recommended for this printer anytime you run the printer, which on this printer is requested, or they say to run your printer every single day. So I'm going to go ahead and hit up this maintenance, and once that's done, we'll get back and start printing this print. Okay, and while that printer is maintaining itself or doing the head cleaning, I decided I would bring you along to show you the reason I love Canva so much, and for this point exactly. And I apologize, you'll hear the printer in the background doing the maintenance, so I apologize about that. But what we do is, since we did the design in Canva, all we're going to do is we're going to come to Canva, we're going to select the design, it's going to upload here, we're going to click share, and I'm just going to go ahead and download this. This is another option right here. If you see this little tiny gold and you see these little crowns, you need the premium subscription in order to use these functions. So the transparent background, which is needed for DTF because you obviously aren't going to print the background, you just want the image, that would be needed for Canva if you're considering that. So just another thing to look at if you are considering DTF. So we're going to go ahead and download it as a PNG. And as the file downloads, so the reason I love it is because I can create and do all of these things on my Mac, and then I can just, without having to download, upload, or move files over, I can just come right to this computer, pop up Canva, and download it right to the computer without having to move stuff over, email, or any of that stuff. So the convenience of Canva and being able to use it on the Mac and then coming over to the Windows and having the same functionality is key. And it's really easy. So now that that is downloaded, we're still waiting for the maintenance to complete. With the Procolored L1800 printer, it does take a little bit of time. She's a little slow. She's a little slow machine, but she's good at what she does, and we love her for that. So we're going to let her maintenance herself. Once that's done, we'll bring you back once we upload that design. Alrighty friends, welcome back. So we already finished the printer head cleanings. It did take some time. It's now 6:34, which I believe we stopped recording at 6:29, so about 4 or 5 minutes, or maybe earlier. Anywho, it takes a little bit of time for this thing to kick up and work. It's on the slower side for sure, one of the cons. But for the price point and what you're getting, totally worth it. Anyhow, I digress. So we already went ahead and downloaded the graphic. We'll go back into the Procolored software. We have a new job open, which obviously you can see it's blank. And we're gonna go over here to this little mountain with the little plus and a square around it. That's the import. And we're gonna go to our downloads folder, and it's gonna be this top one. I don't know why that keeps renaming it everything. Do you see that? It renames everything to that. But anyways, open that up. Alrighty, so now we're gonna see the design here. And I know you're probably looking at this and being like, oh wow, it looks a little blurry and the colors look a little dull. That's just how this system is. And I don't know if it's the screen or what it is, but well, it can't be the screen because it has to be the system. Anyways, it's the system. So what I'm gonna do before I start printing is this little square with the little lines that almost looks like a cross. I'm gonna click that. That's gonna center my image. And then I'm just gonna use my tab keys and pull this up. So the image is centered to this, and we're gonna go ahead and rip and print. So these are the settings that I have for the printer. If you'd like to look at them, I didn't change any of them. These percentages are changeable. This is what I have mine set at. I don't believe they came like this from the factory. I think I looked up a video and changed them to this. Always remember to make sure your mirror print is checked on, because if not, it's going to come out backwards. And believe me, before I learned and figured that out, that's happened quite a few times. Anyhow, okay, so we're going to hit print. And now it's going to go ahead and send it right over to the printer. Hey everybody, just popping in to say hello and thank you so much for watching this video. Please consider subscribing to the channel. I love you. Okay, bye. Friends, so we just finished printing that out. I went ahead and dusted it and put it into the oven, and you'll hear the printer going because I'm printing 2 sets of these because he has 2 shirts, one for his school day and one for his actual birthday. His actual birthday is actually tomorrow, but he's going to school and we have a party for him on Saturday, so that's what we need the 2 shirts for. So as that's going on, once that has finished curing in the oven, I'll bring you back, show you what that finished product looks like, and we can press them on a shirt. Okie dokie, friends. So that has finished, and I put the second print in the oven to cure. And then this is what this came out looking like. Bring it up close to see that. Ooh, it looks so good. I always think these things look a lot better in person than they do on film. But yeah, it looks really good. It's so cute. So a little bit of an update. The 5 with the Nephew is going to go on the back of the shirt they want, and they want Birthday Boy on the front. So we're going to go ahead and press that. So let's get over to the press. Alrighty. So I've been having a little bit of an issue with my little box over here with the temperature settings. So hopefully that doesn't give us any more issues. Anyhow, okay. So when I'm pressing the shirts, I like to use measurements by hand and by eye. I do have the rulers and stuff like that, but I think they come out a little bit better when you are doing this by like visually using your eye to see the center of the design versus the shirt. So that's what I like to do. And so I also use like the finger measurements in order to place my designs on like youth shirts like this is. For my nephew, I usually use 3 finger spaces from the top, and that's, or from the collar or the bottom of the collar. So about 3 finger spaces, and then I just check it by eye, and that's how I set the design. And this shirt is about a half poly, half cotton shirt. So I'm pressing, the temperature set on mine is 275, but that's on the higher side. It doesn't get that hot. And then the seconds on it is 20 seconds with medium pressure. Also, if it's your first time pressing a color like red, you'll notice that there are 2 different colors. The bottom is a lighter red, and where the press was, it's a darker red. That's really normal. That color will dissipate after it cools down, so don't freak out. I remember the first time I ever pressed a red shirt, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Also, this is the backside of the shirt, so the finger placement, what I'm doing is, you can't see it very clearly there, but I'm lining up the design to the front of the collar, you know, where your like the front swoops down. I'm lining the design up to the bottom of that, so I can see that press into the shirt, and I line it up about 3 fingers from the top as well, and that's exactly where it lands. So I am having a little bit of trouble with my little device, the device that tells you the temperature and the time. It's been going out on me, and when it does that, the temperature dissipates. It's no longer heating the element or the press. So that was one of the reasons I was like tapping and stuff. Also, when I went to pull up this red shirt, the front of it kind of already peeled up. It got like stuck to the front. I normally don't do that. When I do a front and a back, I'll let it cool down, but I was just in a little bit of a rush. So now that I'm putting this white shirt, I had noticed that the orange pad on the bottom was a little bit dirty at the top, and since it's a white shirt, I don't want to press it with the dirt, so I flipped it around. It was a much cleaner side, but there was no issues after I flipped it around and pressed the white shirt. And now I'll speed up the video for you guys to get to the end of this. I hope you enjoy. I gotta show my video. That's the finished product, guys. I forgot to show the video. That's the front, and this is the back. Looking pretty good. Well, friends, that's the video. I hope you really enjoyed this video, me making my nephew's birthday shirts and a little behind the scenes. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel. It helps me out. Please leave a comment if there's any other videos or any questions you may have. And thank you so much for watching. I love you so much, and I'll see you in another one. Bye!